stepping into a plane so large it could fit an entire town's worth of people. The Airbus A380 is a marvel of modern engineering, a flying palace that promised to redefine air travel. But despite its grandeur, the A380's story is one of ambition, innovation, and hard lessons learned. Today, we'll dive deep into the rise and fall of the world's largest commercial airplane. The vision: bigger, better, unstoppable. In the late 1980s, Airbus dared to dream big, really big. The company envisioned an aircraft that could surpass the Boeing 747, which at the time was the reigning champion of long-haul air travel. The A380 was designed to carry more passengers, reduce fuel consumption per seat, and provide unparalleled luxury. Airbus wanted the A380 to become the centerpiece of global air travel, transforming the way people flew. The concept was clear: a double-decker plane capable of carrying over 800 passengers in an all-economy configuration, or around 550 in a multi-class setup. Airbus believed that air traffic between major hubs like New York, London, and Dubai would continue to grow, and the A380 would be the perfect solution to meet this demand. But not everyone was convinced. Boeing, Airbus's main competitor, initially collaborated on the project. However, Boeing raised concerns about the A380's profitability, suggesting that airlines might not find it cost-effective. Airbus brushed off these warnings, confident that their vision would prevail. They pushed forward, determined to create the largest, most luxurious aircraft the world had ever seen. The engineering marvel: to understand the scale of the Airbus A380, let's break down the numbers. Length: 72.5 meters, 238 feet. Wingspan: 80 meters, 262 feet, nearly the size of a football field. Passenger capacity: up to 853 in an all-economy layout. The A380 was built using advanced materials like carbon fiber reinforced polymers and aluminum lithium alloys to reduce weight while maintaining strength. Its double-deck design was revolutionary, providing more space than any other commercial plane. Most aircraft, like the Boeing 747, only have a partial second deck at the front. The A380's full-length upper deck was a game-changer. The oval-shaped fuselage not only maximized space but also improved aerodynamics. Engineers designed it to cruise at 561 miles per hour and fly up to 9,200 miles without refueling. This meant the A380 could connect distant cities without a single stop, a dream for airlines looking to cater to long-haul travelers. Despite its impressive specs, the A380's sheer size presented challenges. For one, it required significantly more fuel than smaller planes. Its four Rolls-Royce Trent 900 engines were powerful but guzzled fuel at rates that made operating costs skyrocket. And while Airbus initially claimed the A380 was more fuel efficient than the Boeing 747, newer aircraft like the Boeing 787 Dreamliner quickly caught up, rendering the A380 less competitive. The passenger experience: luxury in the skies. Flying on an A380 is unlike any other experience. Emirates, the largest operator of A380s, transformed its planes into flying hotels. First-class passengers could enjoy private suites complete with beds and personal showers. Some configurations even included lounge bars where passengers could socialize mid-flight. It was the epitome of luxury, catering to the ultra-wealthy. Economy class on the A380 was also a step up from the norm. Wider seats, more legroom, and a quieter cabin made long flights more bearable. The A380's advanced noise reduction technology ensured that even passengers seated near the engines could enjoy a peaceful journey. But luxury came at a cost. First-class tickets on the A380 were prohibitively expensive, limiting their appeal to a small group of affluent travelers. Meanwhile, airlines struggled to fill the economy section consistently, especially during off-peak seasons. An underfilled A380 was a financial nightmare for airlines, as the high operating costs could only be justified if the plane was near capacity. The cost of being too big: the A380's size wasn't just a challenge for airlines, it also posed problems for airports. Most airports weren't equipped to handle a plane of this magnitude. Wider gates, reinforced taxiways, and longer runways were necessary to accommodate the A380. Major hubs like Los Angeles International Airport, LAX, invested millions in infrastructure upgrades, but smaller airports simply couldn't afford these modifications. This limited the A380's routes to a handful of major cities, reducing its appeal to airlines that wanted flexibility in their operations. The plane's inability to adapt to smaller airports was a critical flaw in its design. Boeing's cargo advantage: to understand the gravity of Airbus' mistake, consider the Boeing 747. Since its introduction in the 1970s, the 747 has been a favorite among airlines, not just for its passenger capacity, but for its freighter variant. The 747 freighter 747F became a backbone for global logistics, used by major cargo operators like FedEx, UPS, and DHL. Its ability to transport goods efficiently, including oversized cargo that couldn't fit in smaller planes, made it indispensable. Boeing capitalized on the 747's design versatility. The aircraft featured a unique nose-loading door, allowing the transport of unusually large or heavy items such as industrial equipment, vehicles, and even spacecraft components. The freighter version of the 747 ensured that the plane remained relevant even as the passenger variant began to decline in popularity. This adaptability created a steady revenue stream for Boeing, helping the company sustain the 747 program for decades. The A380's cargo plans, a false start. Airbus initially considered a freighter version of the A380. The idea was to leverage the aircraft's massive size and payload capacity for cargo operations. With a potential payload of 150 tons, the A380 freighter would have been one of the largest cargo planes ever built. It could have competed directly with the 747F and even surpassed it in terms of capacity. However, the development costs for the cargo variant were astronomical. Airbus had already invested billions in the passenger version of the A380, and additional funding for a freighter variant proved too daunting. The program was shelved before it could take off, and Airbus focused solely on making the passenger version a success. This decision would haunt Airbus. By ignoring the freighter market, they cut themselves off from a significant revenue source. Meanwhile, Boeing continued to dominate the cargo sector, with its versatile 747 ensuring its relevance even as newer passenger planes like the 787 and A350 entered the market. Why the cargo market mattered. The global cargo market has always been a critical part of the aviation industry. With the rise of e-commerce giants like Amazon and Alibaba, demand for air freight has surged in recent years. Airlines that operate cargo planes often rely on them to balance their revenue streams, especially during economic downturns when passenger travel decreases. The COVID-19 pandemic underscored the importance of cargo operations. With passenger travel at an all-time low, airlines turned to cargo to stay afloat. Planes like the Boeing 747F and the newer Boeing 777F were pressed into service, transporting medical supplies, vaccines, and consumer goods across the globe. The A380, however, was absent from this effort. Its lack of a freighter variant meant it couldn't contribute to the air freight boom, further diminishing its value to airlines. The technical challenges of an A380 freighter. Creating a freighter version of the A380 wasn't just about funding, it also posed significant technical challenges. The plane's double-deck design, which was a selling point for passenger travel, became a liability in the cargo world. Loading and unloading cargo from two decks would have required specialized equipment and facilities, adding complexity and cost for operators. The A380's immense size also limited the types of airports it could operate from. Cargo operators typically need access to a wide range of airports, including smaller regional hubs who assure efficient delivery routes. The A380's dependency on major hubs with specialized infrastructure made it ill-suited for the flexible point-to-point operations that cargo airlines often require. Additionally, the A380's payload capacity, while impressive, wasn't optimized for the types of cargo most commonly transported by air. Its sheer size meant that operators would struggle to fill the plane with high-value, low-volume goods like electronics and pharmaceuticals. Instead, the A380's capacity was better suited for low-value, high-volume items, which are typically transported by ships rather than planes. Lessons learned: the legacy of the A380. The Airbus A380 is a testament to human ingenuity. It pushed the boundaries of engineering and offered a glimpse into the future of air travel. But its story also serves as a cautionary tale about the risks of overambition. Airbus invested over $20 billion in the A380 program, but the plane never turned a profit. The lack of versatility, high operating costs, and reliance on major hubs ultimately sealed its fate. In 2021, Airbus announced the end of A380 production, marking the end of an era. Yet the A380's legacy lives on. It remains a symbol of what's possible when engineers and designers dream big. And for the millions of passengers who experience its grandeur, the A380 will always hold a special place in aviation history.